Here are 3 good reasons God is allowing you to feel lonely. Number 1, the pain of loneliness will point out the real problem that needs to be solved. Pain is never meaningless. If your hand touches a hot stove, you're going to feel a painful burning sensation. But that's actually a good thing, because if you never felt that pain, your hand would just sit there and melt and you'd never be able to use it again. Likewise, loneliness, the feeling, is actually a good feeling because it's letting you know that there's a deeper issue going on that needs to be addressed. Just as the burning sensation isn't really the issue, but rather the placement of your hand on the heat, so too is your feeling of loneliness not really the issue, but there's something going on, whether it be with your connection with God, your connection with other people, or maybe a wound that you experienced in the past that's causing you to feel lonely, and that cause is actually the real issue. As Psalm 119:66-67 states, "Teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I believe in your commandments. Before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now I keep your word." Number 2, the pain of loneliness will help you realize when you're with the wrong person and you haven't found the right person. I'm not talking to married people in this video. So if you feel lonely, even though you're married, that's something that you have to work through with your spouse. But when you're in singleness or when you're dating somebody and you feel lonely, even though you're in a relationship with them, that's often a sign that there's some sort of disconnection between you two. There's something going on in the communication styles, the personality styles, or it's just a sign from God that this is not the right person He wants you in a relationship with. Why is this good though? Because imagine if you never felt this loneliness around this person and then you just thought they were the right person God had for you. So this lonely feeling around this person is actually telling you this is not a good fit. The only thing worse than being alone and lonely is to be lonely even though you're actually with someone. In Isaiah 54, God is talking about bringing His people back into His favor, but notice the metaphor He uses in verse 6. "For the Lord has called you back from your grief, as though you were a young wife abandoned by her husband." To express the pain of the situation, God chose to use an abandoned wife as His metaphor, because everyone knows how extremely painful this would be. Now, don't get me wrong, every relationship goes through ups and downs. No human's going to be able to fill your heart like God alone can do. But generally speaking, when you're with the right person, you're not going to feel lonely around them and disconnected and like you just can't be yourself around them. When you're with the right person, you're going to feel connected to them. And number 3, the pain of loneliness will increase your pursuit of the Holy Spirit's presence. Imagine how lonely the disciples felt after Jesus left on earth and ascended into heaven. But Jesus said this separation was actually for their good. In John 16:4-7, He said, "But now I'm going to Him who sent me, and none of you asked me, 'Where are you going?' But because I have said these things to you, sorrow has filled your heart. Nevertheless, I tell you the truth, it is to your advantage that I go away. For if I do not go away, the Helper will not come to you. But if I go, I will send Him to you." Ultimately, every human heart needs a rich, deep connection with God through the power of the Holy Spirit, purchased and accomplished through Jesus Christ. This is why Jesus came to earth, and this is why He ascended into heaven. Earthly pain is an echo of the longing in our hearts for the eternal pleasures we were made for. Your loneliness for a relationship is real, but ultimately, it's a symbol pointing you to the ultimate connection your heart needs with Christ. Your loneliness is actually good because when used properly, it will point you forward to the ultimate connection you need with the presence of the Holy Spirit through Jesus Christ. And His presence truly is what we need most and what we're really looking for. I'm Mark from ApplyGodsWord.com. I hope this was helpful. And until next time, God bless.